Late Sunday evening, Donald Trump sent an email out to his supporters, telling them that he needed $45 from each one of them. $45 because he was a 45th president. Get it? It's funny. But he needs $45 from each and every one of you so that he can continue to fight against all the election fraud that allegedly happened in the 2020 election and eventually overturn the results, right? But he can't do it if you don't send him $45, the email says. So, that's on you. If you want the election to be overturned, if you want Trump to keep fighting the good fight, you got to give him $45. You got to give the billionaire who already has millions sitting in his super PACs, 2 different super PACs, millions of dollars. But hey, that's not enough. You got to send him another 45 or else none of this can happen. Here's the thing. Reports have come out recently showing that all the money that Donald Trump has raised, claiming election fraud that doesn't actually exist, by the way, he spent a whopping $0 of it actually challenging election results. So at this point, we know it's a scam. We know it's a complete and total farce because Trump is not spending any of the money he's raising actually challenging these election results. No. He's letting everybody else do that. They pay for that. His donors are coming in and paying for it, just like they did in Arizona, for God's sakes. But his supporters either don't know that, or at this point, they just don't care. They simply don't care that they are being blatantly conned by one of the greatest con artists the United States has ever seen. I will give him that credit. Donald Trump, I do not believe, is an intelligent man, but he does have certain kinds of intelligence that make him good at a couple things. He's basically a savant when it comes to being a con man, right? He can do that better than anybody else. He is so good at it, he could do it in his sleep. There is nobody, hardly, that this man couldn't end up swindling out of a couple bucks at least. When it comes to the whole making good decisions and running businesses, he's really actually not that good at it. But conning people, hell yeah, he deserves a crown. And that is what he's doing. And honestly, again, I don't think his supporters care at this point. I truly believe they just accept it. They know, or at least they have access to the information that tells them that he is not actually spending any of this money challenging the election results. And furthermore, they have plenty of access to all of the information that tells them there's no reason to even challenge the election results because there's no evidence of widespread fraud. In fact, most of the handful of instances we've seen of fraud has actually been done at the hands of Trump supporters. So far, all of the ballot audits that have been done in several other states have shown that, oops, we undercounted the Biden votes. Granted, in Idaho, it was only by 8 votes, but still you ended up giving Biden more votes. So y'all know that the audits are not working out in your favor at all. And Trump is now pushing them, by the way, in Pima County, Arizona as well, because I guess he wants to lose Pima County by a greater margin at this point. But if you want those to continue, keep sending them your $45. Because if you don't, he's going to ask again in a couple days. And even if you do, he's going to ask again in a couple weeks. You're going to continue sending this man money. He's going to put it in his super PACs. Idiot Republicans are the ones who are going to pay for these ballot audits, not Donald Trump. And he's going to continue to use that super PAC money to put it back in his own pockets by spending it at his own resorts. That's what's happening. If it weren't for that part of it, that part of the story that Trump spends this money at his own resorts, it wouldn't be that bad because you can't just take PAC money, the money he's raising of the $45 payments. You can't just give that to yourself. No. But you can pay for political expenses. And as we've seen over the years, Donald Trump can rack up a ton of political expenses at his own properties. And then, yes, in that case, the money goes right back into his pockets. But again, I honestly don't think his supporters care anymore. They're just happy that they can prop up this poor, desolate billionaire because they don't know any damn better.